Hey guys, how's it going? It's Reed back in here with the editing booth. First of all, just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate. Hope everybody's been having a good weekend so far. I just wanted to record this little intro here just to kind of explain what's going on, since I know this might be a little bit of a weird upload. But what this essentially is this is pretty much just going to be episode 0 of the Spaced Out podcast, at least in my consideration. I've been talking about this with Ivan and Thomas and a lot of the other members of Spaced Out, and just talking about I've been meaning to get content out faster. Obviously, my upload schedule hasn't been great. I mean, I know our channel is literally brand new, but I want to make sure that I'm consistently putting content out. And the whole reason we originally started this channel was as a podcast channel. The whole idea was, actually, the original idea was we were going to play Stellaris and then record a podcast over just Stellaris gameplay. As you can see, we've strained away from that pretty intensely, but I don't think that's a bad thing. But definitely, podcast content is still something that I and everybody else at Spaced Out are pretty much very interested in pursuing. And I have just a lot of miscellaneous footage of me and the boys just like talking just about random shit while we were waiting for games to start up, waiting for people to join lobbies, or just after games. It's late at night, you and your buddies are just there all playing separate games, but you're still in a call together and you're just shooting the shit. And that kind of stuff I really like a lot, and I just didn't want to have all of it sitting on my computer not being used. So I figured I'd just throw a bunch of it together into some kind of makeshift bootleg podcast episodes. Because why not? If you enjoy it, please let us know. Leave a like, leave a comment, do all that fun stuff, because I will definitely be uploading a lot more of this if we get that support, and can even have moments where I dedicate time and we sit down and we specifically have a session to record stuff for podcasts where we actually, bring up a topic and we actually have shit that we talk about rather than just kind of randomly shooting the shit. This stuff will still be edited. The footage won't be completely raw, but I mean, yeah, it is going to be, over an hour long each episode, I'm thinking, because, I feel like that's what a podcast should be. So, this is just going to be a little bit of an experiment in episode 0, like I say, where, not really the start of anything crazy, but just kind of test bed for some ideas that we've been having lately, or specifically I've been having lately. So if you enjoy this kind of content, let us know, and I will definitely be putting more of this type of stuff out, because I think it'll be a nice way for me to put content out that is easy to edit, and it's just something for people to aimlessly watch or listen to. In the future, we can include gameplay footage, we can do whatever, but I think for this one, I literally just started this, so I have no idea how it's going to turn out. I'm recording this intro before I've even edited the video, but I'm going to assume, I think right now I'm just going to put the Spaced Out banner up there, and I'll include associated images or video clips of things that we talk about, but maybe in the future I can actually include like full clips of the stuff we're doing, or we can just include gameplay in the foreground while we talk about shit. Whatever. Lord knows I have a bunch of miscellaneous gameplay footage of random stuff as well, so no reason I can't do any of that either. But yeah, I've been rambling for a little too long. Just wanted to record this intro, just kind of explain what's going on and what this is about, and kind of the future of this little project. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Thank you guys for watching, as always, and enjoy the podcast. These Krabby Patty gummies, their respective flavors don't taste like their respective flavors. Like, the pickle doesn't taste like pickles. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What'd you get for Christmas, other than what I got you?
I got socks.
That's it?
No. I got Legos. I got Moolah. I got a raincoat.
What Lego did you get?
You want to see?
Yeah.
Send you a picture.
Send me a picture.
I have them on my desk right
now. Are they tanks?
No.
I bought another one.
Oh?
So you're gonna give me your, or well,
Chaffee.
No.
I'll throw it in. Side bonus.
You're giving me the Firefly that I asked for.
Mm-hmm. Soon, might I add.
Ooh.
Shipping.
I also bought Yeah, I've seen this video on my recommended like 100 times. I'm not gonna.
What
Fuck
video?
you, Thomas. That's the video Thomas posted. Oh, look at you, little Mandalorians.
Yes.
They all look very cool.
Yeah,
I'm so proud of you. I got your. I'm gonna get the Firefly that I asked you to get me, but I also got. Hold on. I bought myself because my parents gave me some good money for Christmas, and they were like, "We want you to be able to spend it on anything." And so I treated it as, okay, cool, free money to spend on like literally anything. So I got this bad boy right here. I think you would actually appreciate this, and believe it or not, I think it's kind of weird that I got this, but I was
You
just
got a Centauri.
yes, I did.
Oh,
I was
my
just
goodness.
browsing, and I was like, I need a new tank. And I was like, I want something unique. I almost got a Panther. I was really, really close to getting a Panther, but then it was I was really close to getting a Panther, and because there weren't really any other. And the Panzer, I saw a Panzer III that I thought would be really cool too to get, but I didn't. And I just saw the Centurion, and I was just like, it just looks so cool. So I decided to get it. And also, I have an American tank, I have a German tank, and I have a Russian tank. So I was like, all right, let's get it. No, I have my M4A2 Sherman. I've got my T-34-85, which is specifically a Polish one, because it's got like one of the Polish regiment insignias. And then I got a Tiger. So I don't have any British tanks, so I thought maybe I could get a British tank. I could get the Centurion. And then I realized that I asked you to get me a Firefly, so now I'm going to have 2 British tanks, technically. Even though the Firefly is an American tank, but a British conversion. I consider, look, if it's in the British tech tree in War Thunder, it's a British tank. So shut up. I consider the Firefly to be a British tank. Because the British made other modifications instead of they didn't just put the 17-pounder in there. They also welded a radio to the back and strapped 5 car engines together to make it run smoother. So
And
Firefly is a British tank.
The stabilizer.
They did
No
take out the
stabilizer.
stabilizer. That's because they had to replace the gun. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. Like the one thing the Sherman had going for it, at least in War Thunder. If you're going below a certain speed in War Thunder, like the gun is straight. Like it is dead. It is dead center. Does not move
Just
an inch.
like me.
Yep, me as well. Thank you. I'm glad we
Nope,
put that out
you.
there.
Not you. You don't count.
I don't think it was that straight in real life. Is all I'm trying to say.
Just like you.
That's just not true. I had to say this at work, and now I'm having to say it now. I'm straight. Like this is
Why
just.
did they suspect you at work? What happened?
I forget how it came up, but we were at
That's
work
right.
and we were talking. I think like there was like a gay joke or something made, and I was like somewhat involved or whatever. And then like one of my buddies turned to me and was like, "Yeah, but like Reed's straight, you know?" And I was like, "Yeah, I am." And they were like, "Oh yeah?" I'm like, "Yeah. I'm like one of the straightest guys I know." And every time I say that, back when I worked at a shitty restaurant, I made that joke. I said I pulled out the "I'm the straightest guy I know" line, or like "I'm the straightest man I've ever met." And as soon as you say that, everyone immediately suspects you're gay. like it is instant. People are just like, "Okay, so you're gay," and I'm
What
just
I'm
like,
hearing
"No,
is you were leading them on.
no, I wasn't beating anybody off." Point is, after I said that, now the inside joke is that I just constantly claim that I'm straight.
But you're not.
No, but I am.
Wait, for real?
All right. Where does the joke start, and where does it end?
I'm just
This
confused.
is like the hentai thing all over again.
I thought that wasn't a joke. I thought that was real.
No, this. I am a straight man who does not watch hentai.
I don't know about that.
That's
I don't know.
that's
What are eaves of houses? What is that?
Excuse me?
What's an eave of a house?
An eave of a house?
Yeah.
What is the eve of a... Oh, alright. Google is listening. Oh, it's like the... I guess. Okay. Oh, that's not how you spell eve. The edges of the roof which extend... Okay, yeah, so it's like, you know how like you have the edge of your roof that extends outside the edge of your building?
Sure.
Oh, alright, let me... Thomas, give us 2 seconds.
Sure.
It's this... You know, like your roof like kind of comes out, like it sticks out a bit.
Yeah.
That's the
Sure.
eave of your roof.
Well, apparently there's supposed to be mushrooms there, but I don't see any mushrooms.
Okay.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Why are there no mushrooms?
Yeah.
Thomas, Ivan, and I have been just kind of sitting here talking, waiting for you for a while. We've basically been filming an episode of the Spaced Out podcast.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you don't even have my footage.
No.
What's the topic of the day?
Mushrooms.
Yeah, we're talking. Well, yeah, we talking a lot
I
of
don't
things.
like mushrooms.
Okay. Any particular reason? I mean,
It's
Why is
mostly a
why is
texture.
Tom so
thing.
quiet?
it's mostly a texture.
Hello?
I do. Mushrooms do have a whack texture. I'll give them
Hello?
that. Oh, you're fine. That was good.
Hello?
It's a little.
I turned
okay.
you up. You're
A little
fine
too
now.
loud. A little too loud. You're fine. Yep.
I win.
Good job.
Where do I find
Yeah.
mushrooms?
Where do you find mushrooms? I mean,
I guess I'll just Google it.
In the forest.
the grocery store. Yeah, in the
apparently not.
forest.
Not in the forest,
I got a guy I meet in the alleyway a couple times a year.
Whoa.
Gets me some shrooms for a good price.
Genshin Impact.
Link in the description.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
playing that game?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Why-
he's playing Genshin
Why
Impact
is it
still.
so
Yeah.
loud all of a sudden?
I will play that game too.
Right now?
Mushrooms.
Hmm?
Right now.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
I have it.
He does have the game.
I have the game.
Mm-hmm.
No,
The
it doesn't.
boy. Don't pick the man. The man sucks.
I picked it.
Pick the female.
Mm-hmm.
The man gets long hair anyways.
Yeah, he does.
Doesn't matter.
So he's a trap.
Yeah.
He's a man
That's
that's
what
made to
I
look like
told you,
a
told you
not a
in the
man.
group chat yesterday. Remember? We're going to Springville. In
I
Space
made
Town.
another. What?
Uh-huh.
What? Wait, you made another account?
No. I don't. I only have 2.
Oh, yeah. You know how you did the 10 yesterday? The 10 wish thing?
Yeah.
And you got no characters. I did the 8 again, and I got another 2 characters. So I think the 8 is just superior.
All right. So I just gotta save my wishes.
Yeah, save up for 8. You can only do the 8 twice though, and then it's gone. But,
Okay.
yeah, no.
I'm doing a quest.
No, which quest you
quest?
doing?
I'm going into some lost cavern of death.
You should join a CTA.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I don't have Genshin Impact. I don't wish to have it.
Then just don't. Just talk.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Let's
doing.
talk about mushrooms.
I like mushrooms. I think they're good.
I like
Mushrooms,
I
actually,
thought-
okay.
I thought
Best
you were just
pizza.
saying they're gross.
No, well, I said that I'll admit the texture can be gross, but
I mean, I wouldn't go that far.
best pizza, mushroom and onions.
I don't like onions.
No.
We've already established that you don't like onions.
Onions are good.
Mushrooms and onions.
Onions are not
Best
great.
pizza.
Best pizza is
Better than
lovers.
meat. No, better than Meat Lovers. Better than
Uh-uh.
Supreme. Buffalo
Supreme's
Chicken Ranch is
gross.
a close second. Very close second.
Buffalo.
My
Okay.
ears are ringing.
Your
but-
ears are ringing.
Yeah, I don't know why that happened.
Is it 'cause
It's
of
weird.
mushroom and onion pizza?
Were you near an
Um,
explosion or something?
Did
No,
your
it's
house
just-
explode?
My ears just did. Best pizza, cheese pizza.
Cheese pizza. So
Cheese pizza.
so you're basic, is what I'm hearing.
I mean, you can't go wrong with some cheese pizza.
No,
Cheese
well, that's
pizza's
why it's
never
like a
the
basic
wrong
answer. It's like, oh, exactly. It's like
Yeah,
it
I don't know
always
why
works.
basic is
Says the
bad.
man that said.
I didn't
his
say it
favorite
was bad. I
drink
just
was
said he was
Sherman.
basic in a very
Says
negative
the man.
connotation.
Says the man.
Yeah, the Sherman
that
is my
favorite
favorite tank. So
Sherman.
what? Well, actually, well, no, the M4 the hybrid Firefly is my
It's a
favorite.
Sherman.
It's a Sherman, but it's like the rarest version of the Sherman.
It's a Sherman.
There are rare versions of the Sherman.
The
Yeah, my
composite
Sherman.
Firefly is probably my favorite. That's what it was. They called it the composite. I don't know why, but that's what it was. I don't think it's technically composite armor, but whatever.
I found enough mushrooms. I can level up now.
Nice. I found cabbage.
Nice.
That's good. I'm glad that you found cabbage.
Oh wait, I played this, and then I had to go. There's a boss I have to fight.
Oh yeah, I told you yesterday, right? That like the second you leave the starter area, the game becomes really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough. Man.
I thought that there was something was going to change there, but it's just still hard.
Nah, yeah, it's rough.
Okay, so Thomas, what's your favorite tank then, huh? If you agree that Sherman is a basic answer, even though I picked a very rare version of the Sherman.
Probably the T-34.
That's not much better, admittedly. I think
Well, at least
even
it's
you-
Russian.
Okay,
least
that has
it's
nothing
Russian.
to do with anything. Why does it being Russian make it better?
It makes it Russian.
It makes it rarer.
He is right about
Argue.
it. Does not know Russian.
If you were to go
Russian
around
tanks
America,
in general, not only that, but the T-34
no. You
specifically
gotta
is
go
definitely not a
around
rare
America.
tank.
If you were to go around America and ask people their favorite tank, most people probably say they wouldn't know, but
Yeah, I was going to say, you're
average
already
person would say
limiting
Sherman.
your answers.
Got Abrams.
Abrams.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would say Da Abrams.
Actually, I don't even know if people know. I
The
don't know.
Abrams?
I'm just saying.
Well, I
that
mean,
would be
yeah,
an interesting
most
poll
American
to
people,
run.
most
There are people
Americans
less
can't
people say.
name 10 presidents, so I highly doubt you'd get
That would be
very
an
many
interesting
answers.
experiment. Do different, test different age groups.
Name a tank.
See,
And see what their favorite tanks are, if
Yeah,
they can
just
even
like-
name a tank.
see, like what factors determine like the variety of answers between like age groups, genders. Be interesting.
So
You
it
would
would
get a
not
lot
only
of, I
document,
don't know.
Good experiments.
yeah, it would not only document how many people know the name of a tank in general, but then also of the people who can actually provide an answer. Like, did the majority of people who answered Sherman, what age group were they in? Does that make any difference?
Yeah.
90 years old.
The majority of people that say Sherman
90
are little
years old.
fucking baby kids like me.
I killed the robot. Let's freaking go. Dead ass robot.
Robot.
I'm playing War
Yeah, I
Thunder
killed
right
him,
now. And I muted my sound so that it wouldn't... I don't want the sound to show up. And it's been a mistake because War Thunder sound is pretty important for War Thunder.
No, it's
Nah.
not.
Okay, well,
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think
Oh,
it is
actually,
me
you know
personally.
how I always say I play games without sound. Genshin's the one game I play with sound. The soundtrack is really nice.
Yeah,
Soundtrack
it's got a nice
is sound.
soundtrack.
Like, is it a
Yeah.
calming soundtrack or is it like banger?
It depends what you're doing.
And then sometimes bang.
Yeah, if you're like fighting a boss, it's like bum bada bum 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 bum. Go crazy.
Yeah.
Wow,
But,
sounds like quite the experience.
Most of the time, no, it's just like calm piano.
I'm gonna light a candle right now.
Just like Breath of the Wild, eh?
Yeah, it's literally a
wonder
Breath of the Wild clone.
Yeah. No, even like the UI and everything looks exactly like Breath of the Wild.
I wouldn't
What
know.
I've seen.
I haven't played it.
One of the main enemy types that you fight, like the basic enemy,
Heracles.
it's like literally an exact clone of something from Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. I'm surprised, you know, considering how keen Nintendo is on like copyright claiming, DMCAing, and all sorts of shit with people. I'm surprised that game hasn't been just like completely shut down yet.
I've got a theory. What if this game
Was made by Nintendo.
is making people buy
Breath of the Wild. Ah. But see, but like Nintendo like be shutting down like Smash tournaments and shit, and I feel like that would make a lot of people buy like old Smash games, right? To get involved in like
know.
that, to get involved in that community. So I feel like that's selling games right there. And yet they're taking that down, man. They're going ham on those smashers, as
Well,
I
I
like to
mean-
call them.
What?
Can't really have any Smash tournaments right now, anyways.
Well,
but-
that was the cause of the drama was there. So yeah, because of COVID, they couldn't do Smash tournaments in person, so they were using they were using like a script or like some kind of program or whatever to play Smash online on PC and stuff, I think, or something like that, so that they could do tournaments virtually. And then Nintendo was like, they're emulating the game. They're emulating fucking pirated copies of the game so that they can do their tournament. They can't do that. We're shutting the whole thing down. Or it was like they disapproved of them using the software to play the game online or whatever, because it's like that's not how the game was originally built. So like they like looped it in the same category as like basically just fully pirated versions of the game, even though most of them weren't. And so they're just shutting down the whole tournaments. I could be the story could be slightly wrong, but I think for the most part I've got the story right. I have the gist of it right. They're trying to do Smash tournaments online. Because they have to do it online, they're using some software or something, and Nintendo didn't like it, and now they're shutting it all down. And the Smash community is pissed. Rightfully so. Yes, that's the drama with that right now. That's pretty crazy. That type of shit is so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It's just like, let them have fun. And it's like the old ass versions of Smash, like the ones that came out like
I have not been paying
long ass
attention to
time
your
ago.
story, to be honest with you.
Yeah. You don't pay attention to much of anything, so I'm not surprised.
No, like normally I do, but like, this is different.
What, you just don't care about Smash?
I lost you at the beginning of the story.
Yeah, so
I
you don't
got a
really care
new
about
book
Smash.
for Electricity Woman. Good job. That's
I
all
thought you
had
meant
to say.
in real life you got a new like actual book. Like
I did get a new book.
for.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
What you got, huh?
Well, it's a series of books about naval history.
Oh, I dug up. I've been cleaning out. I cleaned out my room recently because this used to be my brother's room, but I've moved in since he went to college, and he's got a big old desk with a lot of different drawers, and I've just been way too lazy to go through all the drawers and take shit out. Especially there was one big drawer that was chock full of like old homework and textbooks and all this shit, and I just did not want to go through it, and like, you know, I just didn't want to go through it. And then finally, like during just like a fit of cleaning, I was like, all right, I'm already here, like cleaning a bunch of shit. Might as well just go see what's in this book, or go see what's in this desk and clear out all the shit. And I did that and made it onto a big pile. I didn't sort through it, so I just took all the papers and just threw them down and was like, all right, cool. I put them in a bin and then told my parents, I was like, yeah, we can throw everything in here out. And they're like, all right. And then my brother was like, let me go back through this. I want to see some stuff. And he went back through it and he whipped out a huge book on a bunch of the most famous battles of World War II, and like going through in detail how they started, who was involved in them, how they went down, the historical impact, and all these things. And he whipped it out, and he came back into my room, and he was like, yo, like I found this in the big pile of books and stuff. You wanted to get rid of this? Like I would have thought you'd want to keep this. And I was like, oh shit, I didn't even know that was in there. And I opened it up, and like it's awesome. It's a really, really cool book. I'm glad I found it. It's right here on my desk. It's called Great Battles of World War II: Military Encounters That Define the Future. And it's like it's got maps of each battles. It's got, you know, the generals that were involved. It's got everything. It's a really, really cool book. I'm really glad that Grant found it.
Yeah, you about to throw it away.
Yeah, I know. Like I would have been crazy. I'm glad I didn't. So now I've got that, and I'll go through it. There's pages on, like, there was a page I saw on the Tiger, there was a page on the Panther, and there was a page on just like some of the British tanks and stuff. It's pretty cool. So I haven't like read through the book yet, but I definitely want to. Especially some of the battles that I don't know a lot about, like El Alamein, which is a very, very, very important battle that's brought up a lot, but I don't know anything about it. Yeah.
I'm listening.
Yeah, I'm just saying I also have a new book, and I'm very happy that I have
Nice,
it. And I will
nice,
definitely
nice.
be reading it.
I'm excited for you.
Thank
job.
you. Ivan, do you have any new books?
No, I'm illiterate. I told you.
That's true. Yeah, he is illiterate. Yeah, this guy doesn't want to read
No,
anything.
books are kind of hard to read, TBH.
No, man, I love books.
Can't blame
Books are
you.
great. Books are one of those things where, like, yeah, I never want to read a book. Like, I'm never sitting around just like, yo, like, I could go for a good book right now. But, like, if I find a book, it's very easy for me to get into. a book. Like I read like the first chapter of a book and I'm like, and then I read the whole damn thing like right then and there. But getting me to read that first chapter is really tough. But I've read a lot of good book series
Gun
in
to
my
your
time.
head.
Yeah,
Read
gun
the
to my
book.
head, I could probably do it.
Mm.
But I've read
Okay.
some of my favorites. I read the 39 Clues. Actually, most of these were back in like middle school. The 39 Clues book series. If any of you have heard of that one, that's a pretty good book series. If I remember correctly, I haven't read it since middle school, but at the time I thought it was really good. Ranger's Apprentice book series is fantastic. Highly recommend that if you guys ever want to read that book series. It's really cool. Actually, Thomas, I think you would really like Ranger's Apprentice because it takes place in like that fantasy type shit that I think you would really like. Hunger Games books. Here's the thing with the Hunger Games books. Apparently, this is a hot take. The second one is not good. I did not like Catching Fire. I thought the first book is great. Nothing wrong with that. I haven't seen any of the movies. Actually, I think I saw the third movie, like the movie about the third book. But I haven't read the first movie, or excuse me, I haven't seen the first movie. Haven't seen the second. I saw the third. I think I saw part one of the third movie. Anyway, the first book and the third book are good. Solid books. I like them a lot. The second book is retarded. I don't like the second book at all. It's recycled plot, and also even just the minute details of the book I don't think are very good. So I'm not a fan of the second Hunger Games book, and apparently that's a hot take because every time I say that, people are like, "What the fuck? How?" And I'm just like, I don't. Buddy of mine, Ignatius thinks it's the best one of the three, and I don't know where
I like the
I don't know where the
first
I don't.
fuck he
I don't
gets
have
that
strong
from.
opinions on Hunger Games. I mean,
I liked it. I thought it was a
I-
good book series. I liked the overall story that it told. I liked the characters. I think Katniss is a much more Katniss's character, like what makes Katniss what she is a lot better represented in the book than it is in the movie. Because one of the tough things you can't really
Yeah.
do in the movies with books is the characters can think, right? You can read the thoughts of a character, like
Character
and the book
think.
and a book. You know what I mean? And a book is
Character think.
practically
no,
narrated.
no.
So
He's right. He's right.
so like you can get in the head
I
of
think-
characters, but in movies
I
you only
don't
get
think
what
I
is said
agree.
out loud. So
It's true.
when you're trying to tell the story of a character like Katniss who has a very, very complex mental state, it's really hard to shine that through in a movie because you basically you have to throw out the rule of show don't tell, because you basically have to just constantly include dialogue that explains what's going on in Katniss's head. Whereas in a book, you can just blatantly say how she's thinking, how she's feeling, all these things. And that's part of what made Hunger Games so good, especially the third book, because the first book is when she's normal, the second book is when she starts going crazy, and then the third book is when she's like, aight, time to get my shit together and be epic. And so, like, I think and a lot of her development, I think, happens a lot in the third book. So I really like the third book for that reason.
Book.
But
Shut up.
in the movies, that doesn't really shine through.
Yeah, movies are movies, man.
Yeah, but and I mean, like I said, I've never seen the Hunger Games movies, but just
Speaking facts,
in
though.
in book movie adaptations in general, those are usually the issues that the people who make those movies run into. Like I've seen the Harry Potter movies, but I haven't read the Harry Potter books. But I assume
I haven't
read the Harry
seen the
Potter books.
movies.
You haven't read the
I've
Harry
read the
Potter
books.
books?
no, I haven't. I also haven't seen the movies since I was in like elementary school, so I do not remember anything about them.
Were you a Percy Jackson kid?
Actually, I was. I actually was. Yeah, I did read the
There's
Percy
two
Jackson
kinds
books.
of
I think I
people, bro.
remember. I think I read like 2 of them, and I do remember seeing the movie, and I remember really liking the movie, the Percy Jackson movie.
It's probably because he smells bad.
There's 2 types of people, bro. There's Harry Potter people, and there's
I would-
Percy
well,
Jackson.
I would
Yeah,
need
you're either one or the
So-
other.
so
There's
have-
no in between.
There's no in between. If
Yeah,
you're in
I was
between,
neat.
then you just like, I don't know. You fucking, you probably watched like
I was neat.
Artemis Fowl or something.
But I was
Some weird
neat.
ass.
Head
Anyways,
ass, head ass.
But I was neat.
I did like Artemis Fowl though. Anyways,
I don't know anything about Artemis Fowl.
it was pretty cool. Say words, Ivan.
Ivan, what's your
But what
favorite
if-
book
what
series?
if
You illiterate
you-
fuck.
39 clues.
There
Comic
you
book.
go. Well,
You
he
read
gave an
comic books,
answer.
Ivan?
There weren't 39 books, by the way. There's only 13, I think.
I mean, yeah, but it's
Hmm.
the 39 clues. You fucking uncultured
39
swine.
clues.
Yeah, they spent 13 books trying to look for 39 clues. That's pretty damn efficient, if you ask me. That's more than half the time.
Mm.
I'll be real though. I've read 13 clues like 5 times. I don't remember anything about it.
The 39 clues. You've read the whole.
Yeah, 30
Wait. Yeah, you've read the whole series like 5 times.
Dang.
Yeah.
Jesus. No, because
That's
there's
all
like
I read in middle school.
I remember in
You
middle
know how
school.
like in middle school they'd always send you to the library to get a book?
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I would just read 39 clues.
That's
over
also
and
the
over
reason
again.
why. That's the exact reason why I read Marley and Me, 20 times pretty much. Because in 8th
What the
grade I was too lazy to get another book, so I just read Marley and Me over and over and over and over every day in English class.
So that's what
And
I with 39
to be
clues.
honest, the book never got any worse. There was never a point where like I picked it up. Like I don't know, it's the reason why I read it so many times. Is that there was never a point where I was like, I cannot fucking read this book again. Like I was always just like, all right, like time to watch,
Is that
time
why
to
you're
read.
able to watch Scufflink
Fine.
3 times by now?
Yeah, I guess so. Just
Read
something
the book
about
again.
Marley and Me. It's just a solid book. I read it like 20 times and there wasn't a single point where I got bored of
Hey
it
yo,
or
Tom.
like got annoyed at it.
Tom.
Huh?
Tom.
Yep.
Tom.
Yep.
Tom. I need
Yep.
to find a temple. Help me
Huh?
find the temple.
Temple?
I need to find temple.
I'm level 9, by the way.
That doesn't matter. Do you see a temple?
Yes.
Where?
Temple of the Thousand Winds.
The Temple of
Actually?
the 39 Clues.
Where is it?
It's right underneath the star snatch cliff.
When you
Sorry,
say
that's
Ivan,
the
when you say you
big
read the
ass
whole, when you say you read the whole series 5 times, like, are you talking about like the whole, like all of the books in all of the series? Because there were multiple series.
What?
Yeah, because there was the main series, which was the actual story of them getting the 39 clues. I forget, how do I forget the 2 main characters' names? Like Dan and Amy, I think were their names.
I don't know.
I know. I
That's
remember.
what I'm
I
saying.
think
Bad
Dan.
character names.
Dan had
I've read
his,
the series.
I know
Wow.
Dan had a photographic memory. That was like his thing. But yeah, I know. So there's the original series, which is actually, yeah, I think about 13 books, which is like the actual hunt, them looking for the 39 clues. And then there's, oh yeah,
Don't
they
they
have the
die?
same last name as Joseph. They have Cahill. Their last name is Cahill.
Don't they die?
Pretty cool.
Isn't that like the whole the reason
No,
it
because
ends?
no, not at all actually. And then there's the second series, which is like the sequel series, which follows like what happened to them after the events of the series of the 39 Clues. And then that was like a 5 or 6 book series, and then there was another series after that, like continuing the story even further. Like, so there's like 3 or 4 different, and each, I remember because each one had different colored, they were different colors. Like the covers on the original 39 Clues, like the original 13 books of like the hunt for the 39 Clues.
But where are the
Those ones were,
shrines of
those
death?
covers, those books were blue. And then the
But
one, the
I read
book
the blue
series
books.
after that, yeah, that's the original series. That was like the OG 13 books of the 39 Clues. But then there was the green books after that, which was, I think it was dubbed the Cahill story, or the Cahill story, however the fuck you pronounce that name.
But
And then there
where...
were red, and then after the green series, there was a red series.
I remember there's a
And
yellow
then I
book.
think after the red one, yeah, I think after the red series, there was a
Like
yellow one as
Pokemon?
well. Yeah, it's
I don't
like
know,
all the
but
different
like,
versions.
but where's the shrine of the depth? They're like
I just want to
blue
point out
boxes.
real quick.
Oh, I see one.
I'm in War Thunder, right? I've been playing War Thunder. I was in a Sherman Jumbo, and I got penned through the front plate by a Firefly. And I
That
just want
makes
to ask.
sense.
I just
I
want to
don't know
ask how
why.
the fuck that makes sense. How does that make sense?
Because it's a
No.
British name.
Okay, but I was in a jumbo.
It's
Is that
British.
not like?
It's a British.
I thought the
tank.
jumbo was supposed to be like
Isn't it?
invincible. It wasn't even like, he didn't even hit me in like any sort of weak spot. Like he just went through my front plate, like just straight up.
I don't think you
They
understand.
don't measure their guns in pounds. Quite stupid, isn't it?
They do, yeah. They do measure their guns in pounds. Oh my god. They do be measuring their guns.
I see
How
a
funny
strap.
is that? Is so like the British
I
used the
see a
metric
strap.
system typically, but then they used the imperial system to measure their tank shells. And then America
I
uses
mean,
the
I like-
imperial system usually, but then they use the metric system to measure their tank shells. That's funny. That's the
You
old
think there was a
switcheroo.
thing where like they were like designing the tanks? They're like, you know what? We're gonna be working with the other countries, so let's try to match them. And then it just ended up mixing everything up. They both tried to match the other, so they both just switched.
What do you
And
mean?
no one was right. So
What?
like the British tank designers, they were sitting there like,
Oh,
you
they
know,
were
like,
trying to
we'll
they were like,
fight
okay, so
with
since
the
we're gonna be,
Americans.
yeah, so let's use pounds, and then
let's
the
use
Americans
pounds.
were like,
And then the Americans were like, all right, we're gonna be fighting with the British. Let's make the
Uh-huh.
stupid system, and then it just everything went wrong.
I think my best guess would
It
be
was a
because
joke. ETA. Don't answer.
well,
my
no, I
question.
know, but I do have a legitimate answer for your joke question. I think for the British, because the British use the British claim to be like full metric, but the British do use the imperial system every now and then. Like it is not uncommon in Britain for people to measure stuff in feet or miles or whatever. Like Britain is a flip flop. Like Britain half the time, like they will literally talk about measuring something in feet and meters in like the same sentence. Like they jump between the two, from what I've heard, or not from what I've heard, but from what I have been able to gather
Read it
upon my
actually.
time living on Earth. So the British people kind of already flip flop. So I'm not surprised that just for some reason they decided to measure some of their ammunition with the imperial system, because sometimes they just do be doing that. The
It do
Americans,
be like that.
I figured the Americans measure bullets and things like that in millimeters so that it can be just much more easily exported to nations across the world. Because, tanks like the Sherman and American guns, American military equipment is widely used across the world. So I figured we were just like,
Flexible.
just fucking throw it in millimeters so that everybody is on the same page, and we don't have to write any goddamn conversion notebooks and ship them out with all of these tanks so that the Europeans can understand. Like, fuck it, let's just measure it in millimeters.
It's flexible.
The best way I've heard it said is on a Reddit comment. Somebody said, "We wanted the world to know how much freedom we were dispensing at any given time," which is true.
Flexible.
I mean,
Freedom
I
is
personally
cool.
think we should just make the switch to the metric system already, like just in general.
No.
Because
You're
the
communist.
U.S. imperial system is fucking retarded.
No. You're a
No.
communist.
How does it?
It's too late.
It's
We're
just,
committed.
there is no argument. There is no argument to be
Too
made.
late,
You
we're
literally,
committed.
we just use
Too
the
late, we're
metric
committed.
system. There's no reason.
I
There's
agree,
no
we
reason
are.
or rhyme.
We're
Day,
committed.
month,
It
year.
would take like
it
20
makes
years
sense.
for us to switch
No.
over.
I mean, I know, but like for the rest of time, we can
No,
just all
no,
use the same system.
Nah.
Why the fuck?
No.
Why are there like? Why is 1
If
mile?
they want to use the same system, they'll use the same thing we are.
No,
They'll
no.
switch to
Why?
They'll switch to us.
Why is 1 mile like fucking 5,300? Or no, it's like 3,528 feet or
Why
something.
is anything
Why can't it just
anything?
be? Why can't 1
It's
kilometer?
freedom.
How long is that? Oh, it's 1,000 meters. Easy.
Because freedom.
1 meter.
Why-
How long is that?
why-
Oh, it's 100
okay.
centimeters. Pog.
Why
I
is
understand
the
that.
word chair in chair?
Why are there 12
Ooh,
inches
he
in a
brings up
foot?
good point.
Why are there 3
Yeah.
feet in a yard? Why is a yard and a meter
Why is
almost
chair to
exactly
chair?
the same length? Why
They're
is
not.
a quart and a liter almost the same? Exact same.
So basically,
Why is chair?
why is chair?
Chair is
Okay.
chair. There's no argument.
call-
That's
I
just the
could
way
call
it
it-
is.
No. It don't make sense.
Oh, why did I level up? That was stupid. I don't know.
I don't
Chair
know.
is chair.
No. What if I want to call chair like a ham biscuit?
Well, then you're gonna be stupid, and the rest of the world isn't gonna understand you.
Says a lot about
So
society.
just
It does
call
say a lot
chair
about
chair.
society.
Just call a
I
chair
don't
a chair.
want to. No.
Just use the metric system.
No. But it's a chair.
But then you can say, you don't have to say my cock is 3 inches. You can say my cock is like 8 centimeters. I don't know what the translation is, so that's probably totally wrong.
You're,
But the
you're
point is
Mr.
that you
you're
can
Mr.
say,
You're
Centimeters?
Mr.
You
You're
can say-
Mr. Metric, and you don't even know the conversion.
no, I don't know this. I don't know the exact conversion,
That's,
but
like,
I know that a
incredibly
centimeter is
small.
smaller. So you can say that your PP is bigger than it actually is.
No.
Centimeters still, but like everyone knows they're smaller, so it doesn't matter how many centimeters you say. Everyone's gonna ask
Well, no,
tiny.
because at first you'll confuse people and they'll just hear the bigger number and they'll be like, "Ooh, wow."
No.
No, that is
Like,
how that works.
You go out in the streets right now,
No, people will just pay
and you
attention
start
to
using
the.
centimeters. Everyone's gonna be like, you're
Dude, what the?
an idiot.
Well, they're gonna be like, "Are you from here?"
I mean, yeah, that's
You
true.
know what this is?
Even though I don't have
This
any
is
particular
America.
foreign accent, but yeah, if I start like just in my everyday life using the metric system, I'm sure I would get a couple people who would ask me if I'm from outside of this country.
Bro,
Okay.
you realize how much longer everything would take if we had to convert everything to.
I know that for a while it would suck because especially for a nation as big as America, just switching over like that isn't going to be easy. I know.
I don't think it
but I'm
would
just
even
saying,
happen,
for the rest of time, every country in the world except for Libya would be on the same page, and I'm cool with that. That works, and also
Well,
just the
the
metric
thing is,
system just
though,
makes
like,
more sense. 0
I mean,
degrees
even
is
if
the
we switch,
freezing
though,
point of
like,
water.
even if the government came
It
out,
snows
was like,
if it's
we're
below 0.
using-
That's so easy. Why does it
even
snow if
the
it's below
government-
32
Even
degrees?
if the government came out was like, all right, we're using the metric system, I would still use the imperial system.
Yeah,
That's because you're
it-
fucking retarded.
It would not matter to me.
All right, for example, houses. I'm working on a house.
Uh-huh.
Blueprints
Yeah,
for
you stole
houses.
the wall.
The people who work on houses barely even wear masks. You think they're really gonna care about like?
No, I know.
Something as minute
I know
as that?
Americans don't care. I'm not
No.
saying that this is realistic, but I'm saying it's
It's
better.
not. So then why should it be a thing?
Because it's better. It's
But it's
just
not.
better.
So is communism.
It's
Well, on
I
paper,
agree with what
yeah.
I'm saying.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah, on paper.
I don't know. I've never ran a communist.
Read-
I've never
read
been a
is a
part of a
communist.
communist country, so I wouldn't know.
But it looks better on paper, right?
I mean,
Looks good.
sure. I guess
Hey,
that
Tom,
depends on
Metric
who you
system is
ask.
pretty good on
Tom, I need to find
I just
offense. Where are
it's
the offense?
just it would just be so much easier.
For you.
That's an
God
opinionated opinion.
Uh-huh.
We don't listen
Opinionated-
to those here.
Yeah, opinionated opinion, bitch.
I just have 5 minutes until I disappear. How does it feel?
5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Not really. Ah, Noel, 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 Noel. Yes, know that song?
No, I've never heard that song.
I've never
Have you ever been to
really-
church?
No. Well, I've been to
Yeah, that's
church like
probably
3
why.
times in my
I've
whole
been
life.
to a temple. Does that count?
No, like a Christian church.
I've never been to a church.
It's a Christian. It's a song about Jesus.
Woo! What a fucking kill! That's insane,
have you
bro.
ever been to a temple?
I'm so good at War Thunder.
No, I have not.
It's pretty
I've
cool.
been to
They
a
have a lot of good food.
food.
Mhm.
Yo, I might have to pull up.
Pull up. You'd be one of the very only people speaking English.
I mean,
Wait, what type of
Yeah,
church? A
food,
Vietnamese
though.
church?
dude, food
Sure,
would
yeah.
be like that.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Well, I was gonna
what,
try
what
to
is,
relate because of like Greek church, you know.
what is this bitch? What is her superpower? Swords?
What is their superpower? Oh yeah, their sword just starts glowing.
It's a pretty
pretty
cool
cool.
superpower.
Collect the chest.
All right, read
Grab
the
the
books.
stuff.
Read the books.
Quit the
Level
game.
up, woman. Read the books.
You know what I'm wearing right now?
Read the books.
Reading the
Adventure
39
Bandit.
clues. Reading all
dog.
13, reading all like 15 books of the 39 clues. I just remember like even in middle school, like I would finish the series and then I'd be like, "There's another one," and I'd be like, there's another one, and there was another one, and there was another one. I don't know. They could still be writing 39 clues books to this day, and I'd have no idea.
Mm. He's got a
Why
point.
Why did that?
Oh yeah, what's the other? Oh, there was another book series that I liked that was about like VR type beat. Oh, I forget. Oh, you know what other book series I really liked?
You have 1 minute.
No
Explain
Easy
the
Way Out.
series.
That's it. Okay, it's about this
1 minute.
bioterrorist that
Time's up.
puts like a disease in a mall, and the mall has to be quarantined and locked down. So they basically trap everyone inside the mall. And the book is about like it follows 3 separate teens who it's like they're 3 separate stories in the mall. And just like the mall just basically becoming like an anarchy as like these people are locked inside with this disease going around and like no contact with the outside world and all that. And there's I think 3 books in the series, but the first one is called No Easy Way Out, I think. It's really good. It actually is a really. I think I've read all 3 books. Yeah, I have. I've read all 3, and it's a pretty good book series. I recommend it.
Nice.
It's pretty fun, pretty entertaining.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
books are good, man. You know,
Yeah. No, you got a point.
when a book is good,
No.
like you look at it and you're like, damn, bro, that was a good book.
Yeah.
And then make it into a movie,
Right.
and you're like,
Ooh.
yeah, ooh, hey,
Ugh.
oh man, you know,
Yeah. No.
yeah, there was a lot to be excited about here, but now like I'm just kind of in pain.
Yeah, that's kind of. It's like.
But I've never really been like I guess because I don't read like a lot of books. I've never been in a situation where like they announce that they're like making movies about like a book series, and then I'm like, yo, let's go! I'm so excited for this movie series. Like I'm so happy that they're turning this into a movie series. Like this is gonna be so good. I can't wait. Like I've always just been like, oh cool, they're making a Diary of a Wimpy Kid animated TV show on Disney Plus.
Mm.
Thought there would be a lot more hype about that, but
I
you're fine.
Oh, Ivan's gone.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
went away a little bit ago.
Diary of a Wimpy. I mean, I read
Well, I
them.
mean, yeah, it's not gonna be. No, it's
But
not
it's
gonna be
like-
good. Yeah,
That's it. That's a fun fact, though. Thank you.
yeah, it's kind of cool that they're doing it. Well, also the way they advertise. I saw this on a Connor Eats Pants stream. Shout out Connor Eats Pants. The way they
Okay.
advertised it was they advertised it as, the critically acclaimed movie series is coming as an animated show, and it's like, don't you mean the books? Because they were a book. Like it was advertised as if the movies were being adapted into an animated TV show, but it's like the movies came from the books, so like
Right.
why wouldn't they say that? But I guess more people know them from the movies, but I don't know.
Don't know.
Because I don't know how much crossover. I wonder if that's a generational thing. Like most kids nowadays who would watch that type of show, would most of those kids know Diary of a Wimpy Kid from the movies? And like maybe we're just boomers because we know the books.
I don't know. I don't know.
Because
man.
that kind of thing gets really muddled. Like I wonder like stuff from our childhood. Like if you take like a 12-year-old kid today, how much of our childhood do they know?
I
Because
think
I'm,
that's always the question, man.
yeah.
It's
Because
like,
I also saw another Connor Eats Pants trivia. Shout out Connor Eats Pants. Or wait, no, I don't think this was Connor Eats Pants. I
Shout
think
out.
this was.
don't shout out.
It
no
may
shout
have
out.
been. No, it wasn't. It was shout out Roasted James and Michael McChill and all those guys, the guys who are part of that club.
Those guys. Shout out those guys.
Yeah. So you do know Dream, right? Or I've
Yeah.
at least heard of him. Yeah. So Dream. So Dream like ended his stream and he rated Michael McChill. So now Michael McChill had a bunch of Dream viewers like in his chat, and they were playing Minecraft, and they started singing "Diggy Diggy Hole" just like as a joke or whatever. And then they were like, "Wait, like how do you think Dream fans know Diggy Diggy Hole?" Because the Dream fans are like 10, 11, 12-year-olds. So they did a poll in the chat, and out of everyone, Michael McChill viewers and Dream viewers, out of everyone, I think like 800 people voted, and it was a 50-50. 50% of those people did not know what the fuck Diggy Diggy Hole was. Which to me is insane. Like, that's insane. Like, that makes no sense to me. But, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like if you asked me, does a 12-year-old kid right now in 2020, does a 12-year-old kid know about, like, Diggy Diggy Hole or, like, any of, like, the Yogscast Minecraft parodies, or even know anything about the Yogscast? I would probably say yes. But, like, after that, I don't know.
It's hard to know.
Or, like, Rooster Teeth. Like, how many, like, 12-year-olds today have seen the original Red vs. Blue shit? Like, the Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3 Red vs. Blue.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't talk to kids.
Yeah, no, yeah, yeah. I guess no, you're right. I guess I don't talk to kids either. No, that's true. Um, but I don't know. That's just something I found interesting. That's something I thought about a lot after that happened. I was just like, man, like we're getting old.
I mean, yeah, generations, man. They just do.
Yeah,
Just go. They don't give a fuck.
yeah. It do be. Oh, and then yeah, and there was another thing. Holy shit, there was another thing with that too. Was I was at where I was working down at the hospital, and we were out doing deployments in like the children's hospital, and we were out in the lobby. I forgot what we were waiting for. We were waiting for something, and in the lobby there's like this little row of computers that I guess you can use to entertain. That you can use for like to entertain your kids or whatever the fuck. I don't know, but there was just a row of computers up there, and one of like the nurse ladies or whatever was with this kid and his dad. And she was like, yeah, like let's play some computer games like while we wait, like it'll be fun. And she opens up like, this website for kids games or whatever, and she's trying to get the kid to like, click on the game and play the games and things like that. And the kid keeps tapping the screen, and then the dad is like, oh, I don't think he knows how to use a keyboard and mouse. And this is like an 9-year-old kid, 8 or 9 years old, like totally in late elementary school, early middle school. Yeah. And the dad was like, I don't know. I don't think he knows how to use a keyboard and mouse. Actually, I don't think he said keyboard, but he said, I don't think he knows how to use the mouse. And I was like, what? I hadn't even considered that. But like when you sit back and think about it, like, yeah, like kids these days are growing up on like their iPads and shit. Like that's what the iPad is for. That's the niche that the iPad has filled. Is your parents buy them, and then you download kids apps, you put YouTube Kids on it, you put parent blockers on it, and then you just give it to your kids. Because it solves every problem any parent ever had is entertaining their kids during long road trips or whatever the fuck. You just give them an iPad and then they're done.
I never had an
You
iPad,
walk away.
man.
I had an iPad. I got an iPad when I was like 13, maybe 14, and it was sweet, dude. I had like an Iron Man. Iron Man 3 had just came out, so I had like a cool like Mark 42 background, dude, on it, and it was so cool. And it had like a little green. 'Cause my favorite color is green. It had like a little green flippy on the front. Like thing that you could, because you close it and then you can open it, and you had a little flippy. And I used to watch YouTube on it all the time, dude. I'd watch old like stop motion Transformers action figure videos on YouTube, and play like Angry Birds and shit, dude. Oh man, those were good times. Those were simple
Dude,
times.
Angry Birds.
Dude,
Play that on my dad's iPad.
Yeah, yeah.
I think of that.
Angry
But
Birds.
like the BlackBerry, bro. Playing Brick Breaker on my dad's BlackBerry. That was the moves right there.
Yeah, that sounds good. We never had any of that. I didn't have a BlackBerry. My dad, well, like, my parents obviously had, like, phones and shit. But they never gave us any of their, like, old phones. My dad was pretty early to hop on the iPhone trend. Like, I remember my dad buying, like, an iPhone when it first came out, and him being, like, one of the first people in our little community, in our neighborhood, to have an iPhone. And everybody else was like, damn. And then as the iPhone became more popular and accessible, they all got them. And then we got our iPads as kids. And then when I was in high school, I think my first phone I think was in like 7th grade, because I was doing a robotics club or whatever the fuck. And my parents were like, we want you to be able to like call us and, let us know if you need to be picked up from the club, or, since I was staying after school regularly, my parents were like, we want to make sure that you're okay and shit. You don't get kidnapped or nothing. So they gave me a phone to use, like, to call them. And it was an iPhone. I think my first phone was like an iPhone 4. And then I remember I got the iPhone 8. No, I got the iPhone 6. I skip. My dad and my brother were always getting the new, especially once my brother was in high school and he got a job and he was able to pay for his own shit. My dad and my brother always got the newest phone, like always. And then I always just got the hand-me-down. So I had the iPhone 4 for a very, very long time. And then I got freshman year in high school, I got the iPhone 6. And then literally, like, late last year, I got my iPhone 11, which is what I currently use right now. And when the iPhone like fucking 15 comes out, I'll probably end up having to get one of those.
Bruh, nah. I'm definitely hand me down on phones.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to give up the 6 because I didn't want to give up my headphone jack. Because a lot of people were just like, you don't want to spend the money on AirPods? Like, no, I don't really care about spending the money on AirPods. I just want to be able to charge my phone and listen to music at the same time, or watch YouTube videos and charge my phone at the same time. That's why I didn't want. That's why I was pissed about the removal of the headphone jack. I couldn't care that headphones were wireless. In fact, that's pretty awesome. Wireless headphones have a lot of use, I'm sure. But I was like, bro, no, I don't want to do that because I want to be able to charge my phone and listen to music or watch YouTube or whatever at the same time. So I dragged my feet on it for long, and I don't have AirPods. I have the headphones that plug in through the lightning on the bottom, and I just use that. And I can't charge my phone and watch YouTube or listen to music at the same time. And it's not as big of a hindrance as I thought it would be, but it still definitely sucks.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think my first phone was some random ass fucking a Huawei. That's what it was.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
Chinese company.
Yeah, I've heard
They
a lot
caught
about that
spying
company,
on
but I've never
people.
seen any of like their shit.
Yeah, it melted, bro.
No.
I was in the sun and it freaking melted.
Damn,
It
bro.
was so cheap,
Yeah,
but like,
it's usually how it
I
goes.
was like, I don't know any better. Like, this is top notch right now.
Yeah. That's always the funny part is when you don't realize how good you could have it.
I mean, I was
You're
just
just
vibing, bro.
rocking
I
with
was
shit.
just, like,
Yeah,
I was
That's how I
bopping
am.
with it.
that's how I am with like most everything. I'll take a step back and be like, yeah, like my current equipment is shit, but like it works and I'm using it, and it doesn't really bother me. That's the other reason why I didn't want to move off the iPhone. The only reason actually I ended up getting rid of that iPhone 6 was because the battery just started. I had to replace the battery like 2 times, but it was still just dying on me. It was really bad. I really replaced that out of necessity. But so many people were like, dude, like you're missing out on AirPods. Like you don't know what you're missing. And like, yeah, wired headphones are inconvenient, but like, I don't know. They were suiting their purpose. They were doing what they needed to do. I didn't care. You don't know. You don't miss what you don't have, I guess is the phrase.
Yeah, I guess. I didn't have AirPods either. I bought the goddamn what are they called? Raycon earbuds.
Oh yeah, you did, didn't you? Because
Yeah, I
you were using those in high school.
Uh-huh.
I remember
Yeah.
in the mornings at school you had those.
I got those like before everybody before they were like a big thing.
Yeah.
But it's, like,
YouTubers
one
get
of the
sponsored by
first
them now
sponsor-
too.
Yeah, they do. But it was like one of the first sponsorships with Node. And I saw it and I was like, I want earbuds.
Mm.
So I buy earbuds.
I should definitely
Yeah,
consider
I
doing
bought them
that.
myself.
How are there a lot? Or how much cheaper are they than AirPods? Like, are they actually
Like,
a lot cheaper?
They're ridiculously cheaper.
Yeah,
than
and they're good. I
AirPods.
mean, clearly they're good because so many people
Yeah.
use them. A company does
I-
not get big enough to sponsor YouTubers without having a quality product. I usually
It's
find.
a good product. It's fucking. I think one time I broke one earbud, and like the other one stopped working, and I was like, "Damn!" And so I sent them back, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't even make this model anymore." So they just basically gave me a free upgrade to like their
That's
newest
awesome.
model, and it
That's
has
super
wireless charging and stuff. It's like it's nice.
Yo, dude, I don't even. Oh, actually,
Which
AirPods.
you pay, which is a feature you pay extra for.
Oh
on the
wow.
AirPods or whatever, I think. So I think they're
wouldn't be
pretty neat.
surprised.
I'm kind of proud of them. Kind of underground, but it's a good product.
Hell yeah, brother.
Fun stuff.
That's lit. Yeah, I definitely. I should probably end up doing that, because then I can flex on my dad and my brother who bought AirPods, and I can be like, I saved
fuck
money and I
AirPods.
still have quality product.
They got a lot of bass too. They're nice.
Mm.
And I
I don't
don't like
listen to a lot
stuff
of
like
bassy
hanging out of
music.
my ears. Well,
Yeah.
the sound is just like it's comparable to fucking AirPods.
Yeah, I didn't realize how much of a difference the sound quality was in AirPods versus just like regular old
Yeah, it's kind of
headphones.
insane.
Yeah, it is. Because I think my brother just like let me listen. He was listening to a song. He's like, "Yo, listen to this song," and I got put an AirPod in, and I was like, "Yo, like the sound quality is actually way different." Because that's another thing I didn't expect. I thought the AirPods were just like it was just the gimmick was that they were wireless, but they are
Nah,
like
it's way
they are
better.
legitimately of a better quality headphone. Like the sound is a lot better. It's pretty crazy.
I'm gonna fuck with my rifle right now.
Go for it, brother. And dude, I will not die a happy man unless I have heard an M1 Garand ping in real life. Like until I have emptied a clip in an M1 Garand and I have heard the ping, I cannot die happy. That
I have heard that ping.
or ridden in a tank. I don't care what like my dream would be to ride in a Sherman because I know
Yeah,
they
we
have.
could do that.
Yeah, you
Pretty
can
sure
do that
Danville
at
Tank
the.
Farm is open.
Yeah. Oh,
We
dude,
have to
man.
just check when they do the next.
Apparently,
freaking-
they used to run the Panzer IV, but I think they're doing repairs on it right now. Like there was a time where you could ride in the Panzer IV. But I know there's the place I know is the place that like all like YouTubers. I know Fly Daily went out there and did a vlog for that, and then the Slow Mo guys did a video out there, and then also Squire, who's a War Thunder kind of a War Thunder YouTuber. He also went out there, but I know there's this one place in Texas called like drivetanks.com or whatever,
Mhm.
and they have
I know what you're talking about.
yeah, they have the last Sherman that can both drive and fire its cannon like at the same like there are Shermans that can fire their cannons and there are Shermans that can drive, but this is the last Sherman in the world that can drive and fire. Like it's a fully functioning original Sherman, which is pretty awesome. And yeah, and you can go out there and you can ride in that Sherman, like, and actually not just ride, they will let you drive, like they'll teach you how to drive it. Because I think Fly Daily was the guy. I think Fly Daily paid to drive it, and my ultimate dream would be to go fly out there and drive that Sherman, because I know how to drive stick, so I could totally do it. I would love to do that, but honestly, like, if beggars can't be choosers, then I'm fine with just riding in a tank. I can die happy. Those are the two: riding in a tank and hearing an M1 Garand ping in real life. I can die happy. Those are two bucket list items for sure. I need to write my bucket list. I've got so many bucket list items just already, like in my head, that I need to do. I need to write them all down just so I can start ticking away at them. Because I'm getting to that point in my life now, you know? Like, I've got a job, I'm making money. I gotta start doing shit, you know? Doing fun things.
You're
I mean,
right.
I'm still insanely young, so I've got plenty of
It's kind
time.
like the
but
present.
yeah, exactly. I just figure why not? I figure even that, like, while I'm young, and I think even specifically for that is while I'm not on a time crunch. Like, because people can say, like, dude, you have so much time, like, you don't have to worry about ticking items off your bucket list right now. It's like, yeah, but that's kind of the point. Is I don't have to worry about it, so I can just do it whenever I want. So like, might as well do it now while I'm not under the clock, than when I'm like 40 or 50 and have a wife and kids and can't really commit to that kind of thing.
That's a long time away, but also it's not that long. So
I
agree
It
with
is
the
it is a long time away, but like I say, like that's kind of the reason is I have a lot of time to start ticking off bucket list stuff. And you know, I think the simple way to do that is just to set age goals. Be like, I want to have ridden in a tank, or if I can have my magical scenario drive that Sherman down in Texas, I want to have done that by the time I'm 25. And then boom, there you go. That's all. And then you have your goal has been written. And you just kind of do that with some of your smaller, easier, or you can say, I want to have been skydiving by the time I'm 36, 32. It's like, all right, cool. So then you just kind of, and then from there, you just kind of passively live your life until an opportunity arises for you to do one of those things.
Mhm.
At least that's how I approach it. That's usually how I approach just shit in my life in general. It's just set a general date for when I want to do that, and then just passively live my life, go with the flow, do what I do until an opportunity presents itself. Or an opportunity for an opportunity presents itself, and then you make that opportunity happen. Because opportunities don't always just happen. Sometimes you have to make your own opportunities.
It's true.
But like that, the opportunity to make opportunities come all the time. And that's what you got to take advantage of. And that type of shit is easy stuff. Like you have a bunch of free time on your hands. That is an opportunity to create an opportunity to do something. Or just in general, that's an opportunity to do something. Or like, you know, you get a job in a specific field or at a specific place. There is now an opportunity for you to create an opportunity to get a raise or meet a new person who can network you with a new job type or position within that field, or, you know, simple shit like that. So that's life advice from Reed. Set bigger goals and then just passively set bigger goals and have like a general time point in your life where you want to have gotten that done, and then just passively live your life and keep your eye out for opportunities to make opportunities to get at them. Because then you're not stressing about it constantly, so it's not taking over your life, and you're not fearing the gentle creep of death that comes upon all of us, and you're just living your life, being happy, chilling out. And then when an opportunity to make an opportunity presents itself, you're just like, oh yeah, shit, let's go do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you just kind of vibe out.
Go get them.
Yeah, go get them. Definitely, yeah, be a doer. I think that's the biggest problem anyone in life faces is not being a doer. Just get out and do shit, man, you know? Procrastination is truly the biggest enemy of humankind. No, that's gonna not help at all.
Ah, yes. Crack cocaine. How was your Christmas, by the way? You have a good Christmas?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, Christmas dinner was awesome. Like, it was freaking delicious, beautiful Christmas dinner. Way better than Thanksgiving dinner, I think, even though Thanksgiving dinner was also awesome. Good time for just the family. This has been, I think, the first year where we just haven't had, like, any family over for anything. And I would say, oddly enough, but for knowing my family, and then also just in general, it's not that big of a surprise. This is probably one of the best Thanksgiving and also Christmases we've had in a hot minute. Because it was just us. Because my family and I get along very well. My family in general, we all get along very well. And I have a lot of friends and stuff who have brothers and sisters, and they hate them. They all hate each other, and it's very, you know, sad. But like me and my brother and my sister, the three of us get along really well. And so it's really nice that we can just be chilling out as a family, like just the five of us, not have to worry about annoying cousins or racist grandpas, and just be like, let's just chill out. Let's just grill. I just want to grill, you know? Centrist level shit.
I just want to grill.
Yeah. That was cool. So that was a great Thanksgiving because we didn't have to worry about any of that.
Type shit.
Yeah. And then Christmas was pretty much the exact same thing. And then Christmas Day, we opened our parents didn't get us like gifts, but they just put like cool, neat little stuff in our stockings, like candy and money and stuff like that, and socks. Mm-hmm. And they were like, do you want to open them now at Christmas Eve, since we know we're all just going to stay up till like 3 a.m. and then people are going to wake up at like 8 different times tomorrow. And so they were like, none of us are going to get up at like 9 a.m. Christmas morning and do the whole routine. So we just opened all of our shit last night. And then today was just all chilling. Actually, that's not my granddad. My mom's parents divorced. So I technically have 3 granddads. I've got my granddad on my dad's side, and then I've got 2 granddads on my mom's side. Mm-hmm. And my, I guess, real granddad, not my step granddad, but my real granddad came over today, and that was super cool because he's really awesome. He has the best method. When people get old, here's what you do, man. You stay active. You don't sit on your butt and you just like watch TV. Like, you get out there and do shit. Like, my granddad is like mid to late 70s, and he runs with the rescue squad. Like, he rides in ambulances and like does shit. Like, he's to this, like, right now on the rescue squad, like just out there doing shit, which is awesome. I can't remember if he volunteers. I think he volunteers. I don't think he gets paid for it anymore, but he went into the Navy, and then he came out and did hospital work stuff. And then I think he did like actually as his job run ambulances, run in a rescue squad, and then he just like stuck with that. And it's just something he does like on the side, which is awesome. Like, you know, when people get old, you gotta have something to do. And it's super cool because he always has, you know, the fucking funniest stories of crazy people doing shit. And his saying, he loves to say, he says, "You'd be surprised how many people there are just walking around every day who are one pill away from completely just going fucking nuts."
I believe that.
He's like, there's a lot of people out there who like have some sort of mental thing, and they take pills like to keep them in control, and then one morning they run out of pills, they forget to take their pill, whatever, and then they're throwing a Karen fit at a Denny's.
They're on TV.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, and it is genuinely terrifying how many people are just walking around every day who are one pill away from just going completely bonkers. It's crazy.
It's not that crazy, I feel like.
Well, it quite literally, it is actually crazy because one pill away from going bonkers. But no, I know what you mean. It's the type of thing where like when you first hear it, it makes no sense, or like you're surprised by it. But then as soon as you sit down and think about it, you're like, actually, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Dude, be some crazy fucking people out there, bro.
Did you get anything cool for Cribman?
Yeah, so actually, it was mostly shit I bought myself. The most cool thing I got from my parents for Christmas was money. That was nice money to get cool. Because, yeah, well, and especially because since it's not money that I made from my job or anything, I felt very comfortable just spending it on stupid shit. Well, I just didn't take any liberties. I was just like, I'm just gonna buy shit that I've just been meaning to buy for like a long time. So I bought a new gaming mouse because my current mouse is like a shitty Logitech, like super tiny wireless office mouse. Like you have to like cramp your hand around it because it's small. I want to have like a big mouse that I can actually like fit my whole hand around comfortably. And then also it's a gaming mouse, so it's got like programmable buttons on the side and stuff too, which are going to be super useful for a lot of games. Because I do often fumble with like most of the keys I want to assign to stuff is like Q, R, F, C, V, X, Z, G, T, B. Like anything past like Y, H, and N, anything past that is when I start getting like it's a little too out of my way to assign that to something. So for a lot of games it can get kind of confusing. So having a mouse with programmable keys I think is going to be really nice for stuff like Melee or like special interact buttons or, you know, shit like that. So I'm excited to get that. And then I bought Ivan those socks, the thigh highs.
Oh no.
All I asked for in return was that he get me a Lego tank. And he was like, "Which one do you want?" And I gave him like 3 options, and he was like, "I'll get you the Firefly." Because one of them was a Firefly. So he's going to get me a Firefly. And then I just also wanted another Lego tank. So I was just browsing just like in general. I didn't really have anything specific in my mind, but I narrowed it down to a Panther, a Centurion, and a Panzer III. And I ended up getting the Centurion because I figured I wanted like a British tank, even though I guess the Firefly's a British tank, but whatever. And so I bought myself a Centurion, and then Ivan's going to get me the Firefly, and then I bought a gaming mouse. And then earlier, actually, this was even before I got my Christmas money, just straight up like 2 days ago, or I think actually it might have even just been yesterday. I just impulse bought a pop socket for the back of my phone. And I specifically got one because I went to one of those websites where you can like design your own. And I just stuck, because right now on my phone, I've got a black case, and on the back I bought a Galactic Republic logo sticker. And I have that on there, but it's peeling off, and a bunch of the little pieces have fallen off of it already. So I was just like, what if I kill 2 birds with one stone? I get a pop socket, and then on the back is the Galactic Republic logo. So I just made that. So it's still going to be black with white, black background, white Galactic Republic logo. It's going to look, in general, it's going to look exactly the same as my phone does right now, but now the Galactic Republic logo will pop out, and it's a little pop socket that I can use to prop it up and watch movies or YouTube or whatever the fuck. Just a little
Mhm.
quality of life thing. Something I'd kind of been meaning to get for a while, and just never did. And it was just cheap as fuck, so I just copped it. I think I ordered it. I was literally sitting at my desk at work, and I was just like, fuck it, dude. I'm just gonna buy a pop socket. Like, fuck this.
It's too easy.
Yeah, it really is easy to just buy shit.
Yeah. Impulse buying do be like that.
I don't usually impulse buy. I'm usually pretty good with like seeing something and then being like, "Yo, that's sweet, I want it," and then being like, "Well, I don't need it. I can hold off." But then usually what ends up happening is I constantly do that, so then I just never get stuff. Like
Yeah.
I've been needing a new mouse forever. I've been needing AirPods. I've been needing stuff, and I'm just always like, I don't need it. And then I just never end up buying like just super tiny, super cheap shit that I can just buy and just have and just not have to worry about anymore. I'm like, I don't really just want to spend the $6 that I could spend on that, so I'm just not gonna. And then I just don't have that thing, and then I'm just like, man, I wish I had that thing. So it feels good to finally be like, I need a new mouse. Fuck it, I'm just gonna buy a new mouse. Or I've been wanting to get a pop socket for a while. Fuck it, I'm just gonna buy a new pop socket. I'm just gonna buy a pop socket. So it felt good to be able to do that. And then especially once I got the Christmas money and I had that little extra money that I didn't feel attached to because I hadn't earned it. It was literally just free money that I could spend on whatever the fuck I wanted. That was really nice to be able to just be like, all right, cool. Now I can just buy whatever I want and just have shit.
Sorry, I was fighting a boss right now.
No, you're
I have
fine. No,
nothing
I'm
intelligent to add.
no, I'm definitely busy in this like arcade match, so to speak. Of it's the game mode in War Thunder where it's like the wave after wave of enemies come after you, and I'm focusing pretty hard because they're French ARL 44s, and they have tough armor, but like I can pen them, but my rounds have like no explosive mass. So I can go through, but like I can't just kill them in one shot. I have to shoot them like 3 or 4 times to kill them, and it's really frustrating when like the entire objective of the game is to kill them as quickly as possible before they capture your base. So I've just been like focusing pretty hard, making sure every single shot I fire is like hitting either like the driver or the engine or some kind of critical component to at the very least stop the bastards. And then my second shot has to hit like an ammo rack or something, or else they'll repair and then keep going. So no, yeah, trust me, I've got nothing to add either. And even probably, I mean, it's 12:43. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be on to TBH.
Yeah, same.
And I think this is definitely, I mean, I will say I have been recording this whole time. I think this is definitely some pretty good podcast type shit.
Maybe.
I think so. I can cut out a
not
lot of like
talking about
the
anything.
personal shit, but well, yeah, that's kind of a podcast though. So you just kind of fucking go.
Yes.
That's a lot of the podcasts that I know of. There's definitely the podcast where they come in with a topic and they have like, you know, the big discussions. But there's a lot of podcasts I watch where they literally like, they do the intro of the podcast and they go, all right, guys, what do you want to talk about? And then they just start fucking going. Cause I feel like for me that's the joy of a podcast. It's the personalities involved because you can just be fascinated and just listening to them just talk about shit.
I guess.
The joys of conversation.
Something like that.
I've been meaning to, because I want to have a type of a low effort, easy to produce content that I can consistently put out on the Spaced Out channel. And we always originally intended for a podcast, so I figured this would be a good way to do that. And Ivan and I were playing a game, so Ivan was playing Genshin Impact and I was playing War Thunder. And I thought we were both going to play War Thunder, so I started recording in the hopes that I could get like just some funny gameplay stuff for a War Thunder video. But then Ivan was like, oh no, like I'm probably going to go to sleep pretty soon. Or my internet's probably going to cut out soon because it was like 10:30 or something. And he was like, so I'm probably just going to play Genshin until it shuts off. And I was like, yeah, sure, that makes sense. But I still recorded it anyways. And then midway through, he started sharing his screen of him playing Genshin. And then I was playing War Thunder, and I was like, I wonder if I could kind of create like a little thing where like the main screen is me playing War Thunder, But then there's the Discord overlay, like in the top left of the screen or something, of Ivan sharing his screen playing Genshin. So then, like, the two of us are just aimlessly shooting the shit, talking about random stuff, and then you can watch both of our gameplays just like there. You can just like kind of see what we're doing, just like like fun background shit. I don't know. I think it worked. I think it worked pretty well. Like, I still have the footage. I haven't done anything with it, but I still have the footage. It was like a good solid hour of just like good conversation with just me playing War Thunder like in the foreground, and then just like in the top left corner. A little too big. I probably could have made it smaller, but in the top left of the corner of the screen, just Ivan screen sharing his Genshin Impact gameplay. I thought that was pretty cool. I wondered. I would love to see if I can perfect that and make that look a lot nicer, and then just see if I can like actually turn that into something. Because I feel like that'd be a cool kind of unique concept for a podcast, because I also feel like that's relatable. I feel like a lot of people can relate to that, where it's you and your buddy, and like, yeah, you're both playing two completely separate games, but you're still just like vibing, chilling out. I think relatability is important nowadays, because that's how people like Call Me Carson got famous, because all of his videos were just him and his buddies just like finding weird shit on the internet, like finding funny pictures or weird YouTube channels and posting them in like their Discord, and then just like laughing at it and stuff. And like the reason that was so popular is because people were like, dude, like this, it just reminds me of me and my friends, like just finding funny shit on the internet. So I think having that relatability factor, I think would be pretty cool. I think would get us somewhere. IDK.
Hope so.
Experimentation.
That'd be neat.
You know?
That would be neat.
Well, you know, the early stages of the channel, this is the time for experimentation. This is the time where I should just be posting like whack ass shit and just seeing what is easy to make, what is fun to make, and what gets a lot of views.
I don't know. I have high hopes for Space Hulk, to be honest.
I do too. I think it'll be fun. I'm excited. I am genuinely excited to play it. I think Left 4 Dead 2 style games, like those fast-paced games, there's a lot of room for, I mean, it's literally exactly what I said in the chat, but I think there's a lot of room for funny stuff to happen in those type games. And having the Warhammer 40k aesthetic, I think, would be pretty cool. Because, like, you know, as much as I seem resilient on not paying any attention to the Warhammer 40k universe, I will say the aesthetic of Warhammer 40k is pretty fucking cool. And playing a game with that aesthetic seems pretty lit.
And I think, at least in the single player, you have to like do a certain number of missions before you can start unlocking better weapons and stuff. So I don't know if multiplayer is the same way, or if we're just gonna have access to everything.
Have you ever played it in the multiplayer?
No, I haven't. But I assume it's similar in that you have to unlock stuff, which I mean,
Ain't no problem. I mean, if anything, that kind of gives more reason for us to play it like more often. That's another difference for Left 4 Dead 2 is that like Left 4 Dead 2, there's not really any incentive to replay it or keep playing it, other than the fact that it's just fun. Like, yeah, you're not like just striving. You're not really striving towards anything in Left 4 Dead. You're just kind of doing it.
you just living, bruh.
Yeah, that's games like that. Honestly, games like that, and like Destiny 2 does a really good job of that type thing. Like, it makes me want to come back, like, specifically to unlock like a certain thing. Like, games usually can't do that for me. Of like, I usually, when a game has progression or like something like that, I don't usually come back to a game so that I can I'm so excited to unlock like this new gun, or I'm so excited to find like a specific item one day that I want it. The only games that have really made me do that are like RPG type games, such as like, actually, I guess specifically like RPG looter shooters, like
Borderlands.
Actually Borderlands. I remember Ivan and I played Borderlands 2 together a long time ago. That was a really good time. Him and I don't think we ever actually finished Borderlands 2, but we played Borderlands 2 together on like 3 separate occasions. And that was a lot of fun. But like, I know Destiny 2, I have had a lot of fun with. Like, Ivan and I played that a lot. And also The Division, if you remember that game existing. I stand by. Division is a good game. I have nothing against The Division. I think there's obviously a lot that it didn't do that it could have done. There's a lot that it didn't do perfect. But I think for what The Division is and for what we got out of it, I like The Division. I think it was a good game. I don't know why. I think that game gets an unnecessary amount of hate. And The Division 2, I know nothing about, but it doesn't take place in the snow, so I don't really care. to me that's the whole aesthetic of the Division, is like that in the winter everything's like covered in like 3 feet of snow. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So when I saw the Division 2 was in like the middle of the summer down in Washington D.C., I was like, don't care for it. I like the aesthetic of the Division being like that apocalyptic virus, specifically like virus apocalypse type beat in like the winter. I don't know, something about it I just like. I really like the aesthetic of. I think the Division has one of the cooler like modern realistic apocalypse scenario, especially now with COVID. It seems more realistic than ever. When people try to play like, if an apocalypse actually happened today, what would it look like? I think the Division is one of the best representations of something like that. And then Destiny 2 is just damn fun. Destiny 2 is just fun. And that's another game
I
that
couldn't
like
get into those
come back.
games.
I usually
Destiny-
can't. But
Borderlands. was
they
fun.
did it for some. They did it for me.
Destiny. Nah.
I remember I played Destiny 1 a lot when it came out, and then I never got Destiny 2. I didn't get Destiny 2 for a long time, and then I think it was Ivan who convinced me to get it. And then it's one of those games where like I haven't willingly, or not in a hot minute, I haven't willingly just been like, all right, let's go play Destiny 2. But then when Ivan is like, hey, you want to play Destiny 2? I'm like, yeah. And then we end up playing it for like the next week. And then like why, like in that time when we're playing it, like I can't put it down. And then like it wears off after like 2 straight weeks, and then I don't play it for like a month. And then it gets back in my head and I'm just like, oh yeah, I forgot about Destiny. It's usually I find that's usually how I play most games. Is I just play them like for like a week or two consistently, and then I just drop them for like a full 2 or 3 months, and then play other games, and then I come back to them for like that next week or two. But like that week or two I'm playing them, like I am religiously like all day playing, like from when I wake up to when I go to sleep playing them. Fallout 4 I've been that way a lot, especially once I figured out how to mod Fallout 4. Holy shit, dude. I have dumped so much time into modding Fallout 4. I've had like 8 different playthroughs of Fallout 4 with like different mod configurations. It's insane what you can do with Fallout 4 modding. It's fucking crazy. And also I feel like a game like Cyberpunk would be pretty sweet, or like The Witcher. Actually, I don't know how choice driven The Witcher is. Like from what I've seen of The Witcher, it's mostly like a looter shooter, but not like a Destiny looter shooter. It's definitely an RPG, but like I have no idea. I do not know how choice driven The Witcher is. But I mean, you know,
The choice of what weapon to use.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the extent of The Witcher's choice drivenness. I mean, and I heard that like from all the mixed things we've heard of about Cyberpunk, in terms of its performance, its gameplay not being that great, you know, this, that, the other way. The one thing that the fan base does seem to pretty unanimously agree on is that the story of Cyberpunk is actually pretty good. Like, especially specifically, I've heard some people with like some complaints about the story, or I've heard people disagree, but I think the one thing that pretty much everyone agrees on is the characters are all written very well, and like all the characters are like likable or make sense or just seem very like realistic, like characters that would actually exist. Like the characters specifically are written very well and acted very well, and except for Keanu Reeves. I've heard a lot of people complain about Keanu Reeves, that apparently his voice acting wasn't that good. But like Johnny Silverhand as a character, I haven't heard a lot of complaints about. So the one part of Cyberpunk that I was like mostly interested in, with the story, I've heard pretty unanimously was like easily the best part of the game, or I guess the only part of the game that wasn't trash.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's something.
and you know what? If you're gonna get one part of it right, I'm glad. I guess it was the story. But that, man, what an overhyped game. Jesus.
I mean, the hype train leaves no survivors.
That's a good way of putting it. I just don't understand how people fall for that type shit anymore. Like, especially after No Man's Sky. Like, I don't know. Like, I was surprised that, like, I'm surprised that people were surprised that Cyberpunk wasn't like what it was promised to be or
I don't
whatever.
know.
Especially like it has so many red flags. First of all, in my biggest red flag the biggest red flag in my opinion was the constant delaying. I think a lot of people got like hopeful that it was getting a lot of delays because people were like, well, that means that the people making the game recognize, that it has flaws and they would rather fix them than release a broken product. I understand that. But from my perspective, when you have a game that is as hyped as Cyberpunk, like literally one of the most hyped games of all time, like from a corporate perspective, you want to release that game because you don't want to miss out on the hype. So with a game like Cyberpunk that is getting so much hype, you're still delaying it, which in my eyes is like, damn, like the game must be really not done if they're still delaying this game even after how much hype. Because like if it's getting a lot of hype, you just fucking release the game, bro. Like you should, because if it's getting hype, then you got to cash in on it before it dies. But the fact that Cyberpunk was so hyped and they still delayed it like 6 times, like that tells me this game doesn't need polishing. This game isn't done. Like the fact that they have continued to delay it, even though they have every reason to release it, unless of course the game just isn't done, which it wasn't. That was my biggest red flag, was the fact that it got delayed like 6 times. And then also just when any game gets hyped to that level of when people start calling it like it's going to be the best game ever made, or when people start claiming it's going to change the way an entire genre of gaming is from here on out, when people start talking that type shit, that's when I get skeptical usually, because then it's like, okay, literally what evidence do you have? Like genuinely all you have is speculation. Like the only reason anyone thought Cyberpunk was going to be amazing was because CD Projekt Red had made The Witcher, and The Witcher was supposedly amazing. And not even The Witcher 3 was amazing. I think 90% of people had no idea the Witcher franchise existed until The Witcher 3 came out. Because The Witcher 3 was the only one I ever heard of. And I was like, why the fuck is it the third one? And then I looked into it when the game came out, and it was the third in the series. I was like, bro, I've literally never heard of this game. What the fuck? And then The Witcher 3 was apparently amazing. It got Game of the Year, all type of shit. And then people started basing whether or not Cyberpunk was going to be good on the fact that CG Projekt Red had a good track record with The Witcher. And I thought that was a pretty good basis because, like, yeah, The Witcher was a good game, so they're probably a good company. But then you look back and you realize The Witcher is the only thing CD Projekt Red has ever made. Literally. Like, their entire company, they made The Witcher, The Witcher 2, The Witcher 3, all associated DLC. They made like a Witcher card game, and they made like a Witcher mobile game, and then I think they made like a really small like Witcher spin-off free-to-play game. But other than that, that is CD Projekt Red's entire track record, is just Witcher games. They've literally never made anything else. So when I found that out, I was like, okay, this company has a really good track record of one really good game, and then a bunch of like other games that nobody can really say is good or bad because nobody's ever played them. So, I don't know. Needless to say, at first I was hyped, just like everybody else. But then as soon as I did more research into the company and what was going on, I was like, maybe a bit misplaced.
The hype train does not discriminate on how legitimate the hype is. People just hype the hype. I don't think
people do hype to hype. I'll admit that. But I mean, I sincerely hope, and from what I hear, that they're basically gonna pull a No Man's Sky and just like hunker down, like fuck DLC, fuck any other plans we had for the rest of like the entire year. We're gonna fix the game, which is good. I'm glad they're wanting to do that, because like you see like interviews and stuff, and like you can tell that CG Projekt Red does genuinely care about Cyberpunk. Like they really did want to make it as good of a game as everyone wanted it to be. So I do fully entrust that they'll make the game better over time. But right now, it is like, yeah, it's fucking crazy how unfinished that game is.
best game all time.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I put No Man's Sky on my Steam wish list because I've been looking at it like, not only obviously everyone knows the story of No Man's Sky from Internet Historian's video, the Engoodening of No Man's Sky. If you've ever
Yes.
seen that video, it's
I have.
it's an amazing video. But yeah, in that video, obviously he goes through like all the DLCs and all the updates and stuff that they've made for the game since, and those are all pretty sweet. But then like I also just like went out and just found like footage of, people playing No Man's Sky like nowadays today, and the game actually does like look really fun, especially in that like it does look like it has a lot of content nowadays. Like you can actually do a lot of different stuff in that game now, which is pretty sweet. And I put it on my Steam wish list because it does seem like if you get a good sale and it drops pretty low, like $20 or something, I feel like I might cop it actually. It definitely seems like it would be really fun to play multiplayer.
True.
It's like Space Engineers but with less steps. A lot less steps.
So just
and also
just
not at all as
space.
Space Engineers. Yeah. It's like Space Engineers but just the space part. And you know what?
or just
That's
the
pretty sweet.
engineers part.
No, that's Astroneer.
It's engineer.
Astroneer is Space Engineers, but just the engineers part, no space. And then No Man's Sky is Space Engineers, but no engineers, just the space part. And
I
then
understand.
Star Citizen, Elite Dangerous
What?
is just Elite Dangerous is just Star Citizen, but
I'm losing
like
you, bro.
none of the Star Citizen stuff. It's just the space combat. And then what's another? Oh, and then Dual Universe is just Star Citizen, but it doesn't look nearly as good.
There we go. Perfect.
I mean, Star Citizen.
Alright,
You
I'm
want to
doing
talk about a
this.
game that's gonna revolutionize shit? Star Citizen. Whenever the fuck that game gets out of beta and shit, that game's gonna be fucking crazy, dude.
It's still in beta.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, that game is still in early access as far as I know. Yeah.
I thought it was. I don't know.
Nah, bro. I mean, it's definitely not like in 1.0 or anything. Definitely not. They're still very much working on that game. But when it does, like they added, like they literally, what it's crazy about it is they're adding games within games because they're planning on building like literally an entire universe. Like they're literally, you can go to prison, and then now there's an entire prison game in Star Citizen. Like you can literally just be in prison in Star Citizen and just like have an entire game to play in prison of like either being a good inmate and complying and doing shit in prison or escaping or like all types of shit. Like they're like Star Citizen goes deep. But obviously it's plagued with bugs and performance issues. But yeah, whenever if that game ever gets finished, it will be insane. Just
Star
in terms of like
Citizen.
just in terms of just like the shit you can do. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I think you were about to say that you were about to go to sleep.
I was just gonna do this quest and then go to sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in a match right now. I'll probably finish this up and then go to sleep. Cause yeah.
I don't know what I was gonna say, but I was gonna say something
Mm-hmm.
pretty unrelated, but Ivan was talking about and kind of made me realize, there aren't that many, like, if you want to get into Warhammer, bro, there's not a lot of Warhammer games
Yeah.
out there. Like, I don't know.
I think that's
Like
another reason
Star
why.
Star Wars, Halo, other sci-fi universes. You got all kinds of content and stuff around them.
Yeah.
But Warhammer, I just died. Oh, I'm alive again. Warhammer, for whatever reason, probably mostly just because it's more of like a, community-run kind of thing. Games Workshop isn't like Disney or a massive company.
Yeah.
Just kind of a bunch of dudes who like doing shit.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think that's another reason why
it's unfortunate because I
I've
wish there was
struggled
more.
to get into it. Cause like yeah, like with Star Wars and stuff, there's TV shows, there's video games, there's all sorts of stuff. But like with Warhammer, at least just from my perspective, there's really only like books and board games and random guys on YouTube who do lore videos.
Yeah, you got lore videos.
Because it's a board
Books.
game. Was Warhammer originally a board game, or is it just
Yeah.
also a board? Yeah. So like, I figure it's a board game. It's lore books, and then random guys on YouTube who just read out lore, and then like this one game that you found.
I mean, there are more games, but like,
Well, yeah. Actually, I think
I
I
mean-
think I originally thought Warhammer was a video game series, and then when I found out it was only a board game, I was like, oh.
there are more games than just this, but they're not. Most of them aren't that good, and most of them are also very old.
Yeah. That was the fucker who shooting.
Like,
at me.
I guess updated content.
Yeah. I think Warhammer definitely has a much nicher community than like Halo or Star Wars or a lot of those other like super expansive universe IPs.
Which is unfortunate because I think that there's a lot of potential in the universe.
Hmm.
I think that's the direction I was trying to go. But you know, like a Star Citizen game, but it's Warhammer. That would be pretty.
Oh
badass.
yeah. That would be pretty badass.
But I think
You could say that with a lot of
that,
stuff
like,
though.
Anything.
Yeah, I was about to say like a Halo
like-
set in the Halo universe, set
I
in the
don't know
Star
about
Wars
Halo.
universe.
Star Wars would be cool though. Star Wars.
Halo could be interesting. I think you could explore a lot of
Nah,
stuff with the
I don't think
insurrection
so.
with Halo. But I mean, I see what you're saying. On the surface, yeah, probably not. But Star Wars, fans beg for a game like that constantly. Some kind of big Star Wars cross the galaxy role playing game. It's games like SWTOR, Knights of the Old Republic type shit. What was I gonna say? Piggybacking off that, or it was like what I was saying with like Warhammer being a smaller community. I think I remember saying, I think originally you guys thought I was crazy for saying it, but like slowly I think you guys have realized that I was kind of right. That like Warhammer's the type of thing where like by the numbers, a lot of people don't know about it, and it is a very small and niche community. But like somehow everyone knows somebody who is into Warhammer. Like it's one of those communities, at least for me, that's
If
been
you're
like
on the internet, yeah.
no, like I feel like everybody like personally knows somebody who is into Warhammer, even though it's like a really niche. It seems to be a really niche community. Like there is always like, even though on the grander scale there's not a lot of people that speak for Warhammer, like in every friends group I've ever encountered, there is always like the one guy who knows a lot about Warhammer or like is into it.
Well, until semi recently, that was Cole.
Yeah.
So
I feel like history buffs are the same way too. Like on the grand scale of things, most people aren't history buffs, but like every friends group, there's the one guy who like knows a lot about history and is really
I don't
into
think
it.
you can compare Warhammer to history, like something
Well-
that's taught in school.
Well, no,
Cool.
well, I mean, when I talk about a history buff, I mean like the guys who know like the specific battles of fucking World War II and like history buffs are like, I mean, the fucking guys.
I
like
think
me
you would
who
find a
actually do
way more
research.
World War II history buffs than you would find a Warhammer fans.
I mean, yeah, but I'm saying in the
that
concept of
wasn't a
like,
great example.
I don't know. I was
think
just
I'm
trying to
with you.
compare. I was trying to just compare the concept of like every group has one, even though overall
Truck
it's a minority.
Crazy ass.
Yeah.
The fighter.
yeah. Oh yeah. Now I know what you're getting at.
Now I'm with you.
My match just ended, so.
Yeah, I just did the quest.
All
It's
right
a
then.
chest. I'm gonna steal it.
You steal
My
that chest, my friend, and you have a good night's sleep.
You
Don't
heard
let
that
the
what?
bed bugs bite.
You heard that what?
I
said
heard
something.
that. What?
You were saying something, then you stopped saying it.
I don't know.
Fuck.
I don't remember.
Say something.
I'm giving up on you.
No. I don't know the rest of that song. I'm sorry.
No, I don't either. Nobody does.
It's true.
I really have to piss.
All
I
right,
wanna go to
you
sleep.
piss. You piss and sleep.
You too.
Hopefully in that order, not the reverse.
Yeah. I mean, shit happens. You never know.
Sleep pissa.
True.
All right, GN streaks.
Yeah. Good night. Poggers.